Ladies, there's a style lesson that's quietly revealed itself to me over the years, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Your outfit doesn't begin with your dress, your blazer, or even your jewelry. It starts with what's on your feet. I'm not a fashion expert by trade, just someone who truly believes that after 50, we deserve to show up feeling both confident and completely ourselves. I'll never forget when my friend Linda made one simple change. She swapped out her old shoes for something new, supportive, and just a touch more polished. She didn't change her clothes or hairstyle, but somehow, the entire way she carried herself shifted. People noticed, and more importantly, she noticed. The truth is, shoes do far more than complete a look. They impact how we walk, how we stand, and how the world sees our energy. Today, I want to walk you through the most common shoe mistakes I see women our age making, and better choices that can truly change the way you look and feel. And while we're at it, tell me in the comments, what city are you watching from? I'd love to hear where we're connecting from today. Let's dive in. 1. Worn-out comfort favorites. Let's start with a mistake that I know many of us, including myself, have been guilty of: holding on to old, worn-out shoes simply because they're comfortable. You know the pair I mean. Maybe they're your trusty black flats or those easy slip-ons you keep by the door for quick errands. They've molded to your feet like a second skin, and letting them go feels almost emotional. I had a pair like that. Soft loafers I wore for years. The soles were worn thin, the leather cracked at the edges, and yet, I kept reaching for them. It wasn't until a neighbor kindly asked, "Wow, those must be your favorites," that I realized what she actually meant. They didn't look loved, they looked tired. And so did I, frankly. Here's the thing. Our shoes send a message even when we don't mean them to. Worn-down shoes can make your whole outfit seem less polished, no matter how stylish your clothes are. But beyond appearances, they can also throw off your posture and even affect your balance, especially as we get older. When I finally replaced my errand shoes with a newer pair, still comfortable, but with proper support and fresh structure, the change was noticeable. Not just for others, but for me. I stood taller. I felt more put together. One friend even asked if I'd lost weight. Comfort doesn't mean you have to settle for shabby. Brands today like Naturalizer, Clark's, or even Vionic are doing wonderful things for our feet. They get that we want support, but we also want style. The key is finding shoes that feel just as good as your old favorites, but look like they belong in this chapter of your life, not a past one. So tell me, do you have a pair of shoes you just can't let go of? Be honest. We've all been there. 2. Poorly structured flats. Those paper-thin ballet flats with flimsy soles. We've all been tempted by them, right? They're everywhere. Affordable, easy to slip on, and they seem like a no-brainer choice. But here's what I've learned the hard way, and trust me, it's painful, both literally and figuratively. As we get older, our feet start to lose some of their natural cushioning. It's like the padding we used to have just starts to thin out. Those floppy, unsupported flats that may have been fine back in our 30s, now they can become a real source of foot fatigue. With no arch support and barely any cushioning between your feet and the ground, they do nothing to protect your feet. My friend Karen found out the hard way when she wore those cute $25 flats to a wedding. By the end of the reception, she was sitting at the table, hiding her feet under the chair, in sheer agony. I would have paid $200 for comfortable shoes by then, she told me later. While quality structured flats might cost more upfront, they're built differently. They have cushioned footbeds, proper arch support, and they maintain their shape. Look for leather that holds structure, with a slight cushion inside and a real sole with some thickness. And if you're trying to save a little money, I get it. Check for sales at places like Aerosol's, Vionic, or DSW's comfort section. One good pair of shoes that don't hurt will be worth far more than 5 cheap pairs that leave you limping by the end of the day. Have you found a pair of flats that are both comfortable and stylish? Share your favorites. I'm always on the lookout for recommendations. 3. High-impact athletic shoes with everyday outfits. When it comes to athletic shoes, I know there's a lot of love for those high-impact, brightly colored sneakers. They're perfect for your morning jog or hitting the gym, but let's be honest, they don't always pair well with your everyday outfits. You know the ones I'm talking about, those chunky running shoes with neon accents. They might look great when you're on the track, but when you throw them on for a coffee date or lunch with friends, they can clash with your carefully put-together outfit. I've seen it so often. Someone dressed to the nines in elegant slacks and a beautiful sweater, hair done just right, and then bright neon running shoes that completely throw off the vibe. It just doesn't match up. I'm all about comfort, believe me. After my own knee surgery last year, comfort became a top priority for me. But I learned there's a balance. Comfort doesn't have to scream gym wear. Let me share a story about my friend Jane. She had horrible plantar fasciitis and thought she could only wear those bulky, clunky athletic shoes everywhere. But I introduced her to shoes that offered the same comfort, but in more neutral colors and sleeker profiles. Brands like Allbirds, Skechers Go Walk, and even Echo have walking shoes that provide solid support without shouting, "I'm heading to the gym." The difference was night and day. Same comfort, but her entire look improved. And for those of us dealing with more serious foot issues like bunions or arthritis, there are even medical-grade shoes from brands like Hoka that combine support and style. These shoes blend seamlessly with everyday clothes and don't sacrifice comfort for style. The key takeaway here is this: you don't have to give up comfort to look good. It's about finding the right shoes that support both your feet and your style. Have you found that perfect pair of shoes that does both? I'd love to hear about it in the comments. For high stilettos, those high stilettos that we sometimes buy for special occasions, like a wedding or an anniversary dinner, can be tempting. We slip them on, feeling elegant at first, but soon enough we're secretly trying to relieve the pressure under the table after just a few minutes. The belief that we must suffer in the name of beauty, especially with shoes, is one many of us carry. But as we get older, the truth becomes undeniable. Those stilettos, while beautiful, come at a price. The pain doesn't just fade after a few minutes. It can have lasting effects. High heels, particularly stilettos, can cause real damage to our feet, increase knee pain, and throw off our posture. It's a truth that became clear for my friend Diane. She had been wearing high heels her whole life, enduring the discomfort, but still pushing through for the sake of elegance. But when Diane turned 62, her podiatrist showed her an X-ray that revealed the true cost of years in stilettos. She described the X-ray as looking like a mountain range, a shocking image of the damage to her feet. The good news is you don't have to sacrifice elegance for comfort. Kitten heels, just 1 to 2 inches tall, offer the same leg-lengthening effect without the pain. Block heels are a fantastic option as well. They provide more stability and evenly distribute your weight. Brands like Naturalizer, Clark's, and Cole Haan are perfect examples of how a lower heel can be both comfortable and stylish. When Diane switched to a more comfortable heel, she told me, "I finally feel graceful. Before, I looked elegant but moved awkwardly. Now, I look elegant and move smoothly." Isn't that what we really want? Not just to look confident, but to truly feel confident with every step. Have you tried making this change yet? 5. Flimsy summer sandals. We've all been there, reaching for those light, cute summer sandals because they look great with everything. But here's the thing. While they might seem like a quick, easy solution, they often fail to give us the support we really need. The flimsy straps and flat soles are often a recipe for discomfort. I remember my friend Patty's story. She'd wear sandals like this all summer long. She loved their look and convenience, but soon enough, she started complaining of serious back pain. After a visit to her podiatrist, she realized that those sandals with minimal arch support were contributing to the pain she was feeling. Just because something looks good doesn't mean it's right for your body. The solution: structured sandals that still maintain a sense of style. Brands like Vionic, Nayot, and Birkenstock are experts at creating sandals that look stylish but provide the kind of support that your feet deserve. They offer arch support, cushioning, and sturdy soles, so you can enjoy the summer without the discomfort. Patty made the switch and her back pain improved significantly. It's about finding that perfect balance between fashion and functionality. Have you experienced discomfort from sandals that looked cute but didn't deliver? What are some of your go-to brands for comfortable sandals? Let me know. 6. Bulky winter boots. Winter boots. The dilemma. We all need them, especially when the cold weather hits. But sometimes, the bulkier the boot, the less flattering it feels. I've seen so many women in oversized, clunky boots that protect them from the cold but can make their entire outfit look a bit off. I recall my friend Emily, who used to wear those huge, puffy winter boots. They were warm, but they made her look like she was trudging through a snowstorm, even on clear days. She finally told me how she figured out a trick that changed everything. She started looking for sleek, insulated boots that didn't sacrifice warmth for style. Brands like Aquitalia and Blondo have made stylish winter boots that are sleek yet insulated, and they offer a much more polished look while keeping you warm and dry. The key is to find a boot that not only protects you from the elements but also complements your silhouette. Sleek, streamlined boots can make a huge difference in how you look and feel. Emily found the perfect pair of boots that kept her warm, and she didn't feel like she was wearing 2 bricks on her feet. So, ladies, ditch the bulky boots and go for something sleek yet functional. Have you found a winter boot that blends both warmth and style? Share your favorite brands or tips below. 7. Super trendy statement shoes. The allure of statement shoes. We've all been there. Seeing a pair of shoes that are so trendy, so eye-catching we just have to have them. The vibrant colors, bold patterns, or the out-there designs can be tempting. But as we get older, we begin to realize that just because something is trendy doesn't always mean it works for us in the long run. I remember my friend Linda buying a pair of clear plastic mules. They were all the rage, everyone was wearing them, and she just couldn't resist. At first, she loved them, so stylish, so bold. But after wearing them a few times, she quickly regretted the decision. The mules weren't the most comfortable, and they started to look dated after just one season. They didn't match well with most of her outfits, and she felt that the trend was wearing her, not the other way around. What Linda realized was that a timeless shoe with a modern twist is the way to go. A classic shape, maybe a bit of a fresh color or detail, can give you that trendy vibe without the regret later on. Look for shoes that mix sophistication with a hint of current fashion, but that will still look good in a few years. You don't have to wear every trend to stay stylish. Find what works for you. So, next time you're eyeing those super trendy statement shoes, ask yourself, will this still look good in a season or two? Or will I regret it? Have you ever had a statement shoe regret? Let's talk about it below. 8. Clear plastic shoes. Clear plastic shoes might look trendy, but trust me, they often end up being more trouble than they're worth, especially after 50. Sure, they give off that modern, edgy vibe, but as many of us have learned, the drawbacks far outweigh the benefits. I had a conversation with my friend Linda, who made the mistake of wearing clear plastic shoes to a wedding last summer. By the end of the day, she was not only uncomfortable, but the shoes had fogged up and left her feet feeling sweaty and irritated. She couldn't wait to take them off. The worst part? Clear plastic doesn't breathe, and it can cause your feet to overheat and feel suffocated. It also doesn't offer the proper structure to support your feet throughout the day. Instead of clear plastic shoes, I recommend going for more breathable, comfortable alternatives in materials like soft leather, suede, or metallics. These options not only look more refined but also keep your feet comfortable and dry. Look for shoes that provide both style and practicality, like those from Vionic or Naturalizer, which offer modern designs without sacrificing comfort. 9. Flip-flops for daily wear. It's so tempting to slip on a pair of flip-flops when you're rushing out the door or when the weather gets warm. They're easy, breezy, and convenient. But using them as your everyday footwear? That's a mistake many of us make without realizing the long-term consequences, especially after the age of 50. I think we've all been there. Comfortable flip-flops on our feet as we run errands, meet friends for lunch, or just relax at home. But the reality is, flip-flops are not kind to our feet or our posture. A couple of years ago, my friend Patty lived in flip-flops during the summer. She wore them everywhere, thinking they were harmless. But soon enough, she began to feel pain in her feet, knees, and even her back. After a visit to her podiatrist, she learned that flip-flops provide zero arch support and offer little to no cushioning. That's when she realized how much damage they were doing to her body, even though they seemed like such a simple, quick choice. If you're still wearing flip-flops regularly, it's time to rethink your strategy. The problem with flip-flops is that they don't provide the support your feet need. They often cause you to walk in unnatural ways, putting strain on your arches, knees, and back. Instead, consider upgrading to sandals with a contoured footbed, which will give your feet the support they deserve while still looking stylish. Brands like Olukai, Vionic, and Birkenstock offer sandals that combine comfort and style, and they are far better for your feet than those flimsy flip-flops. These brands provide support and cushioning that will make your daily walks and errands feel so much better. My friend Patty made the switch, and she said it was like night and day. Instead of dealing with discomfort, she now enjoys her daily activities without pain. She found that the right pair of sandals allowed her to maintain a relaxed vibe while also giving her the support she needed. Whether it's a casual outing or a day spent running errands, you deserve shoes that don't just look good, but also protect your health. What's your experience with flip-flops? Have you made the switch to something more supportive? Share your thoughts or your favorite comfortable shoe brands in the comments below. Let's help each other step into better comfort. 10. Ignoring proper fit and sizing. It might seem obvious, but you'd be surprised how many of us wear shoes that aren't the right size. Whether it's buying shoes on sale or sticking with a size you've worn for years, ignoring proper fit can lead to serious discomfort, especially as we get older. The truth is, our feet change over time. They can expand, flatten, or even change shape due to factors like weight changes, pregnancy, or simply aging. Yet, many of us continue wearing shoes that don't fit properly, which leads to blisters, calluses, or worse, long-term foot problems. I remember a conversation I had with my friend Eleanor not long ago. She had always been a size 7 in shoes, but when she bought a pair of sandals for the summer, she noticed some discomfort after just a few hours. She dismissed it at first, thinking her feet were just tired. But after a few weeks of painful shoes, she finally saw a podiatrist, who told her that her feet had slightly changed over the years, and that her old size was no longer ideal for her. It was a wake-up call. Eleanor realized that getting properly sized every few years was just as important as the shoes themselves. The best way to avoid this mistake: get professionally sized every couple of years. Our feet change, and it's important to acknowledge that. Whether it's through a local shoe store or even online tools, finding the right size is key to comfort and health. Plus, different brands may fit differently, so don't be afraid to try new ones or adjust your size according to what feels right. When you wear the correct size, your shoes not only feel better but also help with alignment, reducing pain in your knees, hips, and back. Don't compromise when it comes to your feet. Invest in getting properly sized and seek out shoes that cater to your unique foot shape. There's nothing worse than enduring unnecessary discomfort because you're wearing shoes that just don't fit anymore. As we embrace the years, it's important to remember that our feet have their own stories to tell. They've carried us through countless moments of joy, adventure, and even challenges. But discomfort doesn't need to be part of that story. Our style doesn't have to come at the expense of our comfort, and as we get older, we deserve shoes that support both our well-being and our confidence. It's time to let go of shoes that no longer serve us, whether they're too tight, too high, or simply not built for the lifestyle we lead now. Choose shoes that offer both style and support, shoes that make you feel good and look good, because the way we feel in our shoes has a direct impact on how we walk through life. When we feel comfortable, we feel empowered. So, if you've been holding onto a pair of uncomfortable heels or sandals just because they were once the right choice, now is the time to make a change. Embrace shoes that elevate your style without compromising your comfort. You don't have to choose between the two, because you deserve both. Remember, it's never too late to start prioritizing your comfort and well-being. The more you listen to your feet, the more you'll enjoy every step. Have you already made the switch to more comfortable footwear? What's been your experience? Feel free to share your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you.